Hi, hello. My name is Vilares. I'm from Lisbon. I'm a producer and I'm a DJ. I'm a party maker too. I came from Lisbon. My roots are from Angola, and I have this project about Lusophone, the Portuguese ex-colonies on Africa. About 10 years. I have a record label. I work with musicians mostly from folk music from the ex-Portuguese colonies on Africa. And I'm really happy to arrive at Florence with Julinda Concertina. My concept is different. What I really want to happen is like a global center of culture, like where everybody can have a chance to show projects and where everybody will be focused on the culture thing. Definitely is the city centers, it's nowadays where everybody decides and make decisions worldwide. And unfortunately, try to change that mentality is difficult because everything like artists, sound systems, clubs, everything it's focused on the cities. Culture is a really important role for the humankind. I think it's everywhere. Music is the most visual and the most easy thing to find on art. People still don't think music is art, but it is. Art is really beautiful, but every artist needs money to survive. And on the small towns, it's difficult to live on art because you don't have enough people to make a business of it. It's difficult to have good concerts, or it's difficult to listen to jazz bands or African bands because they don't have enough culture yet. I think the city role is really important and always going to be really important on the art, you know. What I like on this space is like you have childs and you have old people and young people. And I'm quite happy that Florence have a space like this because the people need to find a space when they have cheap rents and when they find people that is on the same mood. And it's really important to have spaces like this, like factories that you can bring your child. One of the best things is like you have culture music and culture acts for free. I believe in culture on the free way. I believe that the government have to have a big decision, have to help more this, I will call this society, because it's really tough for the artist, a painter, a musician, producer, to only live on it. It's important to have space like this, it's open, and you can receive people, and you can show music, and but well, I understand this have a owner, and maybe one day the owner want to make an hotel from this. I think the government have to give a step forward and say to everybody that no, this is a building only for the culture. You have to defend the culture because nowadays, for example, in Cabo Verde or Angola, they are watching that the music, the traditional folk music is disappearing because the consumers, they want the new thing, the kizomba, the new beats, so artists like Julinho that play accordion from the 60s, from the 70s, they are losing space to do it. The government have to help and have to defend this culture for sure. Yeah.